Hello everyone, I'm Professor Clairesse Sherrill. Welcome back to my seminar, Learning Through Example. And if this is your first time joining us, I hope you can learn something new and beneficial that you can apply to your everyday life. For a short introduction, I am a family life educator and have also worked as a licensed clinical social worker. I now specialize in family welfare and childhood education to people all over the world and at my university. Last month, we invited viewers to send postcards to my office. We asked the sender to write any questions that they have regarding parenting or family education. We have chosen two in particular to discuss during this episode. Today, we'll be diving into secure attachment theory and social exchange theory. Alright, let's get started. Our first postcard is from Miss Una Williams. She is from Burlington, Vermont. She stated, "My husband and I have recently divorced. Unfortunately, we have noticed that our 15-year-old daughter seems quiet and guarded. When we do start to talk, we often end up arguing and raising our voices. What are some ways that I can show her that I am always here for her, no matter what, and that she can tell me anything?" Well, I would like to start off by thanking you for your postcard and your question, Ms. Williams. Based on the information, it sounds like we want to talk about secure attachment theory. First, we need to look for ways that you can provide your daughter with a comforting environment. Research suggests that children who are introduced to responsive and familiarized caregiving often go to their caregivers when they are in a state of need. So, validating your daughter's experience through this change in her life can be extremely beneficial. She is currently undergoing a time of immense change and stress. There are things that you can do to foster a secure attachment with your daughter. For example, you can provide an understanding perspective and agree with the things she is opening up to you about. This allows her to talk about the situation at hand, and you two can work on your relationship by communicating with one another. Also, showing affection through a kind tone or physical touch, if your child is okay with it, can have a positive impact. You can offer a hug or suggest that you lay down on the couch watching one of her favorite movies. If possible, you and your ex-husband could have a conversation with her that ensures her that you love her no matter what, and that hasn't been altered, despite the recent changes in your lives. Additionally, research tells us that fostering a secure relationship with our children allows for us to have higher and better levels of communication, which is vital for honesty and well-being. Another suggestion that can be made to ensure that you and your husband have set routines with her. She will benefit from having constants in her life. With that, I would once again like to thank you for your card, Ms. Williams. Moving forward, our second card for today is from Mr. Holland, and he is from Boston, Massachusetts. He wrote, "Recently, my wife and I have been thinking about our son's school life. At his school, teachers implement a point system that rewards kids for any good behavior, and if they get enough points, they can get a prize out of the treasure box. Are these costs and rewards healthy for our child?" Well, Mr. Holland, I think this is a prime example of social exchange theory and work. Research highlights the importance of the notion that people typically begin as rational beings who are able and willing to choose and determine the costs and rewards that they may be subjected to based on certain behaviors. Thus, if your son's teachers are using the point method in a fair and consistent manner, your child can surely benefit from this strategy. Also, providing children with clear expectations allows for them to create, have and withhold intrinsic motivations. Based on theoretical backed information, we know exchanges in the behavioral sense refer to the voluntary actions of individuals that are encouraged by the rewards that they are intending to receive. Because of this, in order to positively apply cost and rewards to young minds, it is vital to relate desired outcomes to desired ways of behaving. For example, students can be offered a pizza party if the class average on their test is above 80%. This would motivate students to work hard on their test. And this can also apply to the point system that you mentioned, Mr. Holland. With this being said, there are always ways that this could backfire. For example, if the teacher uses the points as a sole motivation for her students, doesn't engage with all students fairly, or if the system seems to create unhealthy competition, it can lead to negative outcomes for the children. The children may not learn to the best of their ability and start holding resentment towards school. As the theory suggests, social exchange theory can be critiqued due to the fact that they are not always successful or positive when it comes to ensuring that people can healthfully think about the costs and rewards in their relationships in life. In order to make sure that your child is being introduced to a positive example of social exchange theory, I encourage you to keep up with a regular conversation with your child about how the system is being implemented at school. Ask him if he thinks the points are fair and help him stay motivated in his coursework. You could also ask the teacher how she plans on creating an environment that ensures the outcomes of the point system will be positive. With that, I would once more like to thank Mr. Holland for his contribution to today's topic. Alright folks, it looks like this is all the time we have for today. I look forward to our next seminar.